Welcome. My name is Jasmine Kamboj, and I'm a medical oncologist and hematologist in the state of Minnesota and your host for the day. Empowering Oncologists is a podcast brought to you by OncoDaily, where we will focus on day-to-day concerns of an oncologist's being and workflow with a vision to find sustainable solutions. We hope to share our stories of wins, losses, resilience, and inspire and empower our community because we fly higher and longer when we fly together. Before we dive in, a disclaimer. The views shared on the podcast are an individual's and in no way are views from any institution, organization, or guidelines. For our session today, we have Dr. Devika Das, who is the Division Director of Hematology Oncology and Associate Director for Clinical Affairs for the Cancer Institute at the University of Mississippi. When not working, she loves to travel and read. Dr. Das, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kamboj, for such a kind introduction, and I'm so grateful to be here. It's been a journey, and today is my 30-day mark of being in this new role, and it still feels like a dream come true, and I'm just so blessed and excited at this opportunity. I trained in India. I'm a first-generation physician. Moved here with my husband and did my training at UAB, where I had two of my sons during residency and fellowship. So right off the bat, in several ways, I was mommy tracked by everybody. And so to come from there to where I am now was something that I never imagined. I took on some early leadership roles. Again, some of these were under challenging circumstances, but again, I saw them as opportunities and I said yes early in my career. So I was the section chief of Hem-Onc at the Birmingham VA and was able to grow an amazing lung cancer screening program there, access to clinical trials for our veterans in the state of Alabama. From there, I went back to school as a faculty and a full-time mom because I wanted to learn all about process improvement. So I got a master's in healthcare quality and safety as a faculty member. So I could understand everything that the non-physicians do and how can we be good team members and how can we make processes that work for our patients and our staff. So that was a enlightening and crazy busy experience. I took that role, and when it was time sort of hit the mid-career mark and I was thinking what next for me, that's where I sort of struggled a little bit. I took a brief role with pharma. I learned a lot about clinical trials. I even spent a year in community oncology, just learning so much about the practice of medicine, and briefly was at the University of Florida doing as the division director for QI and the thoracic oncology lead. And all of that culmination of that experience led me to what I think was a role that was destined for me to bring all of those skill sets to a state that deserves so much love and care and patients that deserve access to the best care possible. So I'm here now and having the best time ever.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, Devika. So, what you just said has so many learning points. Like, I think we could write an essay on each one of them, being a mom as a trainee, and then being a mom as a faculty, but yet wanting to continue to grow and taking on more schooling as a faculty. That's a lot of motivation out there. And then also recognizing, the contributions of our non-physician teammates, and then experiencing roles as a community oncologist or in pharma. I mean, that's a pretty comprehensive experience profile. I'm a little jealous of you right now, Dr. Das. Thank you.
People call me crazy or jealous depending on what everybody says. I feel like every experience has just added so much to that sort of pie of what is it like to practice oncology in 2025. And some of it really came from just not knowing and lack of mentorship and just saying yes to whatever came along and just learning from that.
We're going to move on to our next question, but I want to come back to the mentorship piece also in a second, Devika. So as a woman trainee, leader, and a mom all together, what was the greatest win and greatest challenge while you were navigating these roles and wearing so many different hats?
I'll say, and I say this now, I didn't say it before, is I think my greatest leadership training, and I've taken a lot of leadership courses, was being a mom and a trainee at the same time. I mean,
Yeah.
any parent who can do that and do
Mhm.
that successfully understands leadership, because your
Mhm.
conflict resolution, there's time management, there is just negotiating. Uh, with children and with work,
Right.
and making a day more efficient than if you were just doing one task at a time.
Mhm.
And it also takes a village to help you.
Mhm.
So, I was in Birmingham for several years. I don't have family here. I have my amazing husband who's been my sort of rock through all of this. But we outsourced everything, and we had this support system. And then
Mhm.
then as I moved for jobs, I
Mhm.
realized you lose that village. So now that
Mhm.
I'm in a leadership role and I'm able to recruit and bring people, I understand that for faculty members and fellows to thrive, you
Mhm.
also have to help them build that village when they move. So as a leader, I'm not just looking at meetings or where, all the other doctors they should meet, but what is it that they need in life to just kind of be able to grow sort of holistically.
That is so cool that you say that, Devika. I never thought of it like that, we could help our colleagues build a village, right? Obviously, we want to offer our own support and help when we can, but we also want to help them build that village. In one of our leadership classes, our mentor of our group, he said that when somebody joins your group or your practice, the most important question you ask them is, how are you doing? And how is the change going for you? Instead of telling them that, this is the department expectation or these are the duties and responsibilities, that's what they truly need. And I started incorporating that question to some of the newcomers in our practice. And they just I feel like they just have like a melting of their heart when I ask them just a simple question like, how is the change coming along for you? Right. So it is so cool that you say that we could actually help build those villages as leaders. And I think that would be a very good retention strategy. Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Das. All right, Devika. So I want to share something which I kind of I think I feel that myself, and I think you feel that yourself too. We're both IMGs. We are from India, and every country has their own different way and style of training. In the States, we see a lot of mentorship and sponsorship and support from faculty, etc. You know, how have you navigated through the US, through your training in the US in terms of, getting support or not getting support from mentors and faculty in your institutions?
That's such a great point. Um, I don't think I've coined this term, but I have used this term. Is I think IMGs, and especially IMG women, face what I call benign neglect. Through their training, through junior, senior faculty life, is because, again, we don't know to ask. We often believe that if I work hard, somebody is going to see that and I will be rewarded with the next big opportunity. And that doesn't always happen. And
Mhm.
and so no one's overtly mean to us, no one's
Mhm.
overtly rude to us, but we just get passed over. I mean, she's a hard worker, she does an amazing job, and nobody thinks
Right.
what next for her or what next for him. And
Mhm.
I think that was a sort of a cultural shift that took me a while to understand,
Mhm.
that unless I seek
Mhm.
mentorship, the benign neglect is going to continue.
Uh-huh.
And so while I don't have a longitudinal mentor in thoracic oncology, which is what I practice, is somewhat because of this reason, I did end up finding a lot of sort of situational mentors and sponsors and coaches through some big life leadership events. And I just cherish that so much. So I think, again, being cognizant in a leadership role of all the
Mhm.
people that you have on your team. Not
Mhm.
everybody is going to come and talk to you about their vision and their 5-year plan.
Right.
I think those nuances have to be understood. And sometimes you, as a leader, have to seek out your people and ask them what they want to do.
That is, yeah, that is fascinating that you've so clearly outlined this challenge, because I have personally felt this, for a long time. And I feel like a lot of us feel that. And you're right. We just don't know how to ask, we don't know how to seek that support and help. And I love the term that you coined, the benign neglect, because no one is trying to be mean to us intentionally, but it's just that we need to know that we are supposed to seek help. And I don't think we do a good job in that. So thank you for that. All right, Devika. So you obviously are clearly motivated. You've made the most of every opportunity. How have you managed to look at any, problem or challenge and convert it into an opportunity?
For me, it's a little bit of knowing that you have to take a risk, and there, be ready to fail, be ready to fall flat on your face. And I have done that several times over and over again. But know that, this is your story, and you can choose to be a victim in your story, or you can choose to be the survivor in your story. And I think that change of mindset is, this is a hard time. It can only get better from here. And I have been in that position multiple times. And every time I have used every single failure as a springboard to that next success. So, people see our successes, they don't see our failures. And,
Yes.
And sometimes being able to take risks and doing something that everybody else sees as futile, and you see the opportunity in that, I think is what's helped me sort of reframe my story and reframe my, mindset.
Beautiful.
Over the last few years.
I love it. I think you could write a motivational book for IMGs. You should do that.
Well, you and I, there's an idea. Let's do that. Let's
do
brainstorm and get something.
Perfect. All right, Devika. One advice you would give to yourself of 10 years ago?
Just say yes. Just say yes to things. There were some opportunities that I was so fearful that I didn't take. But then there were others that I did. So it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be fine. And I really had no regrets. I prioritized my family when I needed to. I, prioritized career when I need to. And you just have to follow your own path. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't be in that rat race that I have to be this next big person in 5 years.
Right.
Just be yourself and be competitive with yourself, not with anybody else around you. So I think that's what I would tell, because I think that was really hard as an early career physician, being a mom, being mommy tracked, and, I don't have the publications that I needed. I wasn't doing the grants that I thought I would do. Guess what? It doesn't matter in the long run.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't have a lot of academic background, but the grants don't always go through, right? You get denied, and then it gets approved. And so it's okay to face those rejections and denials and failures.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'll just throw a plug in here, because, you have such an amazing audience, is let's not ignore our mid-career physicians, because I feel when I look at the grant mechanism and as a leader, I talk to people, everything is routed for early career, which I think is phenomenal. But there's a lot of us that have other things going on in life. Right. And as we hit mid-career and I'm finally ready to sort of get more academic or do more, I feel there's a major paucity of like grants and funding and leadership opportunities for just mid-career folks who are trying to now jumpstart a career in academics. So
absolutely. I think there's a lot of buzz at organizations like ASCO who try to really keep up with what is the latest trends and stuff like that there should be opportunities both for mid and even late career. Hats off to some of our very senior faculty. The way they trained and the way we train and the way our current generations are training is completely different. The work ethic is different. I trained in Houston, and it was Michael E. DeBakey VA Center is in Houston, and Dr. DeBakey, apparently he used to round at 4 a.m. in the morning. I don't think we rounded at 4 a.m. in the morning, and I definitely don't think the current generations are rounding at 4 a.m. in the morning. So, our senior faculty is doing a great job at keeping up, but I think all of us need some leadership and some coaching. Point very well taken, Devika. All right. On to some of the fun rapid fire about you. Your favorite book?
My favorite book is Multipliers by Liz Wiseman.
Okay.
I think every person in medicine and in leadership should read it.
Any particular key takeaways from the book?
It talks about how not to be just an individual contributor, but be that person who comes and grows everybody around you.
Oh,
so
I love that.
I more than ever, I think our society and medicine and healthcare needs that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Your favorite leader, Devika?
My favorite leader, actually, there are two. Are Lena Nair, who's the CEO of Chanel,
Yeah.
and Shonda Rhimes. They're both strong women of color who grew in spaces that nobody thought they would. And that is just so inspiring.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. Your favorite cancer study, preferably a non-thoracic study?
A non-thoracic study. Oh my gosh. I was thinking thoracic studies, and there were so many. I would say that would be, I can't remember the study, but that's when Imatinib was approved.
Yeah.
Whatever that study
CMO.
was that led to that approval, because
Yeah.
that was the first time we had long-term survivors in cancer.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking thoracic, I was thinking the same things, the Flora study with osimertinib. I can think of those patients that would die quickly, within 6 months because we just didn't have great targeted therapy. So I think I would say Imatinib.
Beautiful, beautiful. Your favorite city to travel to, since you are a traveler?
I could travel all over the world, but Mumbai is home, and
Aw.
it's always home, and that's always where
lovely.
my heart is.
Aw. So for Mumbai, do you bump into people in Mumbai all the time, like the stars, the Bollywood celebrities or cricket celebrities? No.
Never. No. I did not grow up in the rich part of Mumbai. So Mumbai is just so huge, and I don't think I've met anybody, but that city just is just amazing. And again, I think a lot of my resilience came from just growing up in Mumbai. And people and Mumbaikars know that.
I love it. I love it. One fun fact about you, Devika.
I am a massive Austin fan. So if and when I get out of medicine, I'll probably be opening a bed and breakfast in Bath and hosting Austin fans there. So that's just a little silly thing, but I've always been a Jane Austen fan growing up.
Oh, that's wonderful. Our last question of the day, Devika. If you were to relive your life, would you choose to become an oncologist?
100%. There is not, again, I didn't come from a family of physicians. Nobody pressured me to go into this field or pick oncology. But the relationships I have with my patients and their families, I would not give that up for anything.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you, Devika. So for our audience and listeners, 3 key takeaways for the oncology community from our conversation with Dr. Das. I think our society in general and profession need to be structured in a way that we give grace to trainees and professionals who are trying to be an involved parent also. I think we cannot and should not ignore that part. And I love how Dr. Das mentioned that we can help them not just by offering our individual support, but also helping them by building a village around them. I think that's precious. The other thing, point number 2, is that for especially IMGs who have not trained in their countries, with a lot of mentorship or sponsorship programs, I think it's important to recognize that there is mentorship available if we just learn to seek out support and help. Half the time we are just trying to learn the system and we just are not aware that, our little efforts can make a huge difference on our careers if we, get a good mentor or a good sponsor. So I think we can contribute towards that success story as well. And then I love how Dr. Das mentioned that she likes to look at every problem as an opportunity. My current clinic's supervisor, she is also like that. She's like, every problem is an opportunity, and she likes to look at the problem in that way. And we try to figure out multiple solutions to that. And surprisingly, a problem that feels like, oh, it's an end, it's like it's a dark zone after this. When we have collective wisdom, there are more than one solutions that come out to the same problem. So it's really funny how collective wisdom and looking at a problem in a different way helps find solutions. So that is all for today, folks. Thank you to our viewers and listeners. This is Jasmine Kamboj and Dr. Devika Das signing off on behalf of OncoDaily from our conversation on Empowering Oncologists. And now we have the Empowering Oncologists playlist on YouTube. Do not miss an episode and stay tuned. Thank you so much, Dr. Das, for your time and sharing your insights. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kamboj.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to OncoDaily on YouTube. Hit the bell icon to stay updated.